take it from here.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much, Dan. I appreciate having this opportunity. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about cigar box ukuleles, which I make out of cigar boxes. And so I used to smoke a lot of cigars, and I'd have all these boxes lying around, and or get boxes from the cigar shop actually. And they just look really cool, you know. They have these, you know, things on the back. This one has, you can't see it, but in here there's little indents that are little notes and stuff. So, anyways, and so I got involved with, online there's this company called CB Giddy, and it makes cigar box guitars. And so I said, oh, that looks like fun. And so I built a cigar box bass. And they're just a little short scale bass with silicone strings. And that I built entirely, I wanted to build it entirely out of hand tools and nothing, you know, nothing special, and just sort of no measuring even. Everything was just, this would be how you would build a guitar if you were living in Appalachia or something like that in the hills, and we're just going to do something real simple. And so I did that, and the bass was great and a lot of fun until I left it out overnight time, and it all went. But other than that, so then I just started. I did start building cigar box ukes. So I got involved with ukulele, like 10 years ago. You wouldn't have caught me dead playing the ukuleles, literally. I mean, I would have it would have come to fisticuffs because I just had a huge disdain for the instrument for some reason. But the church Tammy and I went to back in Malden, Massachusetts, where we came from, we had a new pastor come in, Reverend Rachel Mankey, and she's a big ukulele player. I mean, she plays like festivals and stuff like that. So she was a big deal. And she said, look, we should start a uke camp for kids. Because we wanted to start to try to reach out into the community more and just do good stuff. It's not evangelical. It was just reaching out. And it was sort of not inner city, but very diverse community, you know, and relatively poor. So we wanted to start to have this youth camp. So every summer we would have 1 week, and we'd have Camp Uke, and we started out with maybe 15 kids, I guess, and it just 9 to noon, and it would be a couple of ukulele classes for them. We'd have 2 different groups maybe, and then some games and some artwork and whatnot, you know, kind of things you do at a day camp. And it was free, and we also would provide the ukuleles because we could get a bunch of ukuleles in bulk, and it worked out pretty well. I'm throwing this out here just as an aside, as an idea for something that we might want to do here too. Camp Uke has been great for the church. We're still doing it. We do it remotely now. I do it, and I'm still involved with it. We actually have a director who's a real musician and from Berkeley, and she's good, but and she is there, but I pitch in remotely, and we do it all through the year on Tuesday nights and stuff. So anyways, it's something that can be a good thing. We could set up a little thing here for kids, and just, you know, a week, and we need some volunteers, but no. Anyway, that's just an aside. And I don't want to get myself into more trouble than I'm already in. So anyway, but that's sort of the extent of it. The ukuleles I make, I do get the necks and the pegs and stuff from the CB Giddy company, and you know, that whole package costs about $50 say. But then I just get the well, I have a bunch of cigar boxes that I've saved, and I could go to, you know, the cigar store down in Hudson or whatever and get more cigar boxes. It would also be fun to teach kids how to build cigar box ukuleles too, because that's actually a whole other thing. So, anyway, there's just stuff that you can do. But the ukulele is fun. It came originally actually from Portugal, but then became popular in Hawaii, which had a lot of Portuguese settling. I can't remember the word, but so it's a you know, a lot of the stuff that you hear about ukulele comes from there. But it's gotten to be very popular. It was popular in the early part of the 20th century in jazz, and just as a little instrument that you could have at home. And if you get music from that time, most of it has little ukulele chords on it and stuff. And so it fell out of popularity, and then Tiny Tim came along in the 60s and did Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and so it came back a little bit, but it didn't get the whole real big popularity thing again until, you know, really in the aughties. Part of it, my connection is with Eddie Vedder from Pearl Jam, you know, and he was playing it, did a whole record and toured and everything with it. But a number of people were doing stuff with it, you know, Sufjan Stevens and a bunch of people, and so it became a thing. And now I find quite a few people do stuff, and then so I figured, oh, well, I'll learn it, and because I had to for this Uke camp, and it's a great little instrument. It's basically tuned just like a guitar, only on the 5th fret, and it's but it has what they call a re-entry string. So the lowest string is high again. So this is a G, C, E, A, and anyway, so that's I guess that's sort of the basic stuff you can do with it. My teacher, Carissa, like I said, she's the Camp Uke director, and she just graduated from Berkeley. She was like the first female ukulele major at Berkeley. But she is wicked good, and I saw a video of her playing Duke Ellington's A Train, and it was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. I want to learn how to play like that. And so I've been taking lessons from her for the last couple of months, and it's really improving my musicianship amazingly. I am going to do a little tune for you, but before I do that, I will just quickly talk about the open mic. The open mic has been a big success for me, at least. I came out here. One of the things when I came out here that I wanted to do was to have an open mic, and I talked to Roberta and said, well, join the Grange and you can start an open mic. So I did, and it's been great. I just love all of you people, and I love the community, and I love everything that goes on here. And so it's been great, and it's been great to be able to do the open mic, and I think we've built a little community of musicians and poets and dancers and whatnot. We've had kids come up from the Maplebrook School down in Armenia. So on Friday we had quite a successful open mic. We had about 13, 15 people.
15 people.
What?
15
people.
Half Grangers, half none.
Yeah, half string, half string and half none. And we had at least 3 new performers who had never been here before.
Roberta said 4.
4, right,
Yeah.
including Deborah, right, 4.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good. We put out a donation box, and hopefully, we try to get some donations. We get a little bit sometimes, but it's mostly just, again, getting the word out there, being able to be part of the community and to be able to give something to the community. And we often have Jim at Mackin who comes up and for your educational benefit will do something that is, that has to do with musicology or musical history. That is always fabulous. And this week, he got this guy who was it was the first time this guy was here, JJ, and he's a good guitarist and whatnot. And Jim comes up and said, "Do you know Help by the Beatles?" And he said, "Yeah. So can you sing the lead?" And so he did. And he and JJ sang Help, and Jim did the harmony, and it sounded amazing. I was like, these guys never even played before, but he knew. Apparently, this Help is one of the few pop songs with a contrapuntal harmony. Am I saying that right?
Counterpoint.
Yeah. With counterpoint harmony, and so Jim is always worth the price of admission right there. And then often Richard will come and Lenny and we'll jam and stuff like that. It's a good time. And then we've had some really good poets. We had a lot of really good poets this time. And it's Mark Fishbacker, I believe, who's he's a published poet. He's like the real deal. And so we've had some really good stuff. So anyway, as far as the COVID restrictions, you can see the two stools back there. That's what we have the stools. They're like 12 feet back from front of the stage, and they're about 12. They were 12 feet apart. And we did we kept all of the restrictions. Nobody complained. Everybody had masks on. I got a whole bunch of little multicolored windscreens to put on the mic, so everybody could have their own colorful windscreen. So and we had people going back and forth. They'd do a show, they'd do a bit, and they'd go back and sit down. They'd come back up, and they could take their little windscreen, put it on the mic. So we were very safe about that. We may even start doing it without a mic at all, because we find that this room is so live. It's so good. You can I can be up here talking, and I'm sure nobody has any problem hearing me even with a mask on. So, we don't necessarily need to do that. But it worked out very well, and I just want to say I was just so glad when Janet called me and said, "Hey, we could try to do this. We could start doing this again," because it's just wonderful to me. It's wonderful to the community to be able to have this whole thing going again. So, are there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a question. Can we consign? Are you available to make a? Will you take a consignment to make a?
I could. I made one for Peggy. Well, I put it up in the auction.
Right.
And Peggy got one for her son.
My son Nils plays it in Columbus, Ohio. He loves it.
He does?
Loves it. He sent me a video just the other day of him jamming on it.
Oh, that's great.
He plays it every night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the thing. The great thing about the ukulele is you can just sort of sit in your Adirondack chair and play. You don't have to worry about not having arms on the chair, and you can just noodle. And anybody can sound pretty good on the ukulele. So it's really, it's definitely a worthwhile instrument. Yeah, so yeah, if you want to let me know, I can try to put something together. Bear in mind, I do still work full time, so I have to squeeze everything in. But anyway, so this is a Duke Ellington tune. Also, this is by Juan Tizol. It's Caravan. So this is from about 1927, I think. But, so. One. Government Ukulele, it's been great to be able to present this to y'all, and
Thank you.
continue supporting the Grange.
Thank you, Harry.
Thanks a lot.
And anybody that wants to be in the picture?
I know.
Yeah?
Yes.
I just want to take one out front.
Yeah.
Can I talk to you outside?
Yes, exactly, yes.
Based on the information that I've gotten, reviewing the plan, the funds should have been $33 million, which should be repatriated to the grid. If you could transfer it over to us through the, what we did was,